And there it is. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Uh,
One.
this is the Shema with your brother Shi'yah. As you all know, for the next couple of weeks and for the past 2 weeks, I've been filling in for brother Shi'yah. I'm your brother Gabor. That's brother Larry, of course. What's up, brother? How your day been, man?
I'm doing great. And yours?
Man, every day above ground is a good day.
Got
That's how I roll with it, man.
right.
Um, let's jump right into this lesson because I know that we a little behind, and I know y'all want to get it in. Today's lesson is simple. Christ came for Israel, and this is one of those. It should be simple and plain with the scriptures I'm finna bring out, and then I'm going to try to be pretty quick with it so that way some other things that kind of came to mind as I was studying, I was like, man, I might need to put this in there, but if not, then we just gonna stick with the lesson at hand. Uh, so Christ came for Israel. As always, I want to start with Psalm 19 and 14. You can read that whenever you get it.
All right. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 19, verse 14.
Bring it up.
Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord, my strength and my redeemer.
So, man, that's what we wish. That's what we hope for every day. When we give y'all these lessons, when we put these lessons out, whether it's YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, any social media, if you see us in live and in person, man, this is how we feel. We really are hoping and praying that the words of our mouth and the meditations of our heart are pleasing to the in the eyes and in the mind of the Most High. That's the goal. That's the plan. That's everything, right? Let's get started. Start at Matthew chapter 1, verse 21. As I said, today's lesson is Christ came for Israel. And I was talking to my mother the other day, and she's kind of new in the truth. So we've been talking, and she's just like thinking back on her time in Christianity and how in Christianity, it's always about the world. How Christ came to save the whole world, how the whole world is going to be redeemed, how the whole world is going to be saved. But it actually doesn't go with scripture, right? And we're going to touch on that. Give me that Matthew chapter 1, verse 21.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 1, verse 21.
Bring it up.
And she shall bring forth a son, and
Mm-hmm.
thou shalt call his name Jesus,
Mm-hmm.
for he shall save his people from their sins.
Now notice how, okay, so of course we all know that she is Mary, right? But she says she shall bring forth a son. Obviously, we know who the son is. If you don't, they tell you who he is in the next couple of words, right? And thou shalt call his name Jesus. Dealing with us as I always try to make it plain so that way any newcomers don't have no confusion about it, right? So if you hear us say Yahweh Shai, that's the true form of that name, Jesus. If you hear us say Hamashiach, that's the true form of the word Christ. Okay. Yahweh Shai means Jesus. Hamashiach actually means the Messiah, but it also means the Christ. Okay. So just so anyone out there who's new to us, you don't understand, just so when you as you go along in the lesson, you'll understand who we're talking about. So it says that he shall bring forth a son. So she's supposed to bring forth this man child, and thou shalt call his name Jesus. Now, why is she bringing forth that man child though? Very last line says what? For he shall save his people from their sins. These words are the key things in this verse. His people from their sins. His people were the Hebrew Israelites. Okay. His people were the children of Israel. His people were the tribes of Jacob. His people are all these names. When they talk about the people of Jerusalem, this is the people who he's saving from their sins. He did not say the whole world, right? He'll be saving his people from their sins. Uh, give me John chapter 11, verse 45.
Okay, this is the book of John, chapter 11, verse 45.
Mm-hmm.
Then many of the Jews which came to Mary and had seen the things which Jesus did believed on him.
Read on.
But some of them went their ways to the Pharisees and told them what things Jesus had done.
Read.
Then gathered the chief priests and the Pharisees a council and said, what do we? For this man doeth many miracles.
So they're coming and they're like, man, he healing people, man, he cleansing people, he waking, he bringing the dead back. Man, what we gonna do about this dude? Right? Go ahead.
If we let him thus alone, all men will believe on him.
So they
And
know,
the
they
Roman,
understand that they're like, hey, we got to do something about him because he gonna get the masses to follow him. The religious leaders of today do not want that. Right now, if you deal with any religious leader, especially a TV evangelist, if you tell them, if you say the word Hebrew Israelite, they'll watch how they screw up their face. Watch the reaction that they're going to have because they don't want y'all to hear the truth. They don't want y'all to hear the commandments of the Most High. They don't want you to be your higher self. They want you to always be under them, paying them for the good word, right? When we may not always give you the good word, but we're going to give you the truth. We're going to give you what you need to hear. Hey, brother, that's against the commandments of the Most High. This is we're trying to follow in the steps of Christ because this is what Christ was doing. He wasn't just healing. He was also letting us know what we doing wrong. He was showing us our error as well, right? So they like, man, what we going to do with this dude? He waking the people up. He gathering the sheep. He putting in the work. What we going to do about this dude? Go ahead, read out.
and the Romans shall come and take away both our place and our nation. And one of them, named Caiaphas, being the high priest that same year, said unto them, ye know nothing at all, nor consider.
So look, the high priest is like, man, y'all don't know nothing, right? He like, y'all don't know nothing. Just trip on what he said. He don't even realize what he finna give right now. Go ahead, read it out.
Nor consider that it is expedient for us that one man should die for the people, and that the whole nation not perish not. Excuse me.
Go ahead.
And this spake he not of himself, but being high priest that year, he prophesied that Jesus should die for that nation.
See that right there? Look, Jesus should die for that nation. He didn't die for the whole world. He didn't die for America. He didn't die for Asia. He died for that. When I say world, think about it like this. And then when I say that nation, shrink it all the way down. Narrow it all the way down. Because that's what he did for that nation, not the world. Guess what? Watch this. Not for the church, for that nation of people. One thing that we can't do, we can't just ignore the facts of what some of these words say, right? And we've already read twice where he come to save his people from their sins. And then he come to die for that nation, right? Watch verse 52. And not that, no, that's all I want. That's all I wanted. Did you have something that you want to add?
Not at the moment, brother.
Okay, all praise. Let's keep it going, y'all. Stay in Matthew because when I deal with Christ, this is my favorite book to deal with Christ out of. It's Matthew. Okay, so go to Matthew chapter 10. Some people like Mark, some people like Luke, some people like John. Man, it's not a different story. It's just told from Mark's perspective, Luke's perspective, John's perspective. But this is why it's always the same story. It's always the same common thread, right? Go to Matthew chapter 10, give me verse 5.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
These 12 Jesus sent forth and commanded them, saying, go not onto the way of the Gentiles, and into any city of the Samaritans enter ye not.
Read.
But go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
So he just told his disciples, Don't go over there dealing with those people. But who I do want you to deal with, go to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. He didn't notice at this time, during the time of Christ, we as the children of Israel were being oppressed by the Romans at that time. Guess what? You're never going to find where he says, y'all go tell them Romans. Why he don't say that? Why he ain't like, hey, you know what? Go tell the Spaniards. Go tell y'all. You seen that? Hey, you ever see that show Spartacus? Ain't that's Greek? Yeah. That's Greece, right? Yeah. Why he ain't tell them to go tell Spartacus and them? No, he said what? Go to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. He's very specific, man. Hey, you know what? If it's certain stuff requires certain ingredients, right? Depending on what kind of car you have, it tells you, that lets you know what kind of oil you should have. Maybe you're supposed to have a synthetic blend. Maybe you're supposed to have a 20, 10, 30. I don't know all the numbers to the oil, but y'all get what I'm saying. It's specific for that purpose. Mm-hmm. And Christ did not come for the whole world. He came to save his people from their sins, so that nation won't have to be won't suffer. I'm paraphrasing it. Give me Matthew 15:24.
Okay. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 15, verse 24. But he answered and said, I am not sent but on to the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
So in my Bible, that's written in red. Is it written in red in yours? Right? So we understand that the red letters mean that that's your Jesus speaking, right? And if your Jesus is saying twice, he said it in Matthew 10, and now he said it in Matthew 15, that he didn't come for nobody else except for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Then we read in the previous, and to start Matthew off with the very first chapter where he said he come to save his people from their sins. Man, there's no way y'all just gonna snake around this. You gonna act like Christ ain't say these things, or these things weren't said in the books concerning him. You got something you want to add up?
Yeah, I think I have one.
What you got? I'll read it for you.
Isaiah chapter 9, verses 6 through 8.
This is the book of Isaiah chapter 9, starting at verse 6. For unto us, I like it already. For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulders, and his name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. Of the increase of his government and peace, there shall be no end, upon the throne of David and upon his kingdom, to order it and to establish it with judgment and with justice from henceforth forever. The zeal of the Lord of hosts will perform this. The Lord sent a word unto Jacob, and it hath lighted upon Israel. And all the people shall know, even from Ephraim and an inhabitant of Samaria. They say in the pride of stoutness of heart. You want me to keep reading, or that was it?
Oh, that's it, man.
Hey, yeah, that was right and exact. It started off perfect. Unto us. My brother right here is giving it to you simple and plain. It didn't say unto the world. Listen, the Most High gonna give it to you straightforward. In the Apocrypha, he say he gave us straight commandments. In Deuteronomy, he say you didn't see no similitude, so he didn't talk to us in no mystical way. Straightforward, right? He's giving it to you straightforward. Unto us. Right now, me and Brother Larry is us. Somebody who don't know no better, who just now tuning in, he not part of us. He's them. Because we're us. Us is teaching, them is learning. That's the difference. When you go to a football game, Guess what? You're not part of them on the field playing. You're part of us watching the game. If there's you can't do like they don't go together. If there's a difference, us and them, his people, their sins. There's no way around that, man. There's no. This is just plain English. Right now, we should have a whole bunch of students in front of us just taking notes on words like thus, this, there, us, them. This is plain Jane English, y'all. And for some strange reason, religion makes these words null and void. But this is the very thing that makes a sentence make sense when you read, right? Let's keep going. Go to John chapter 4, verse 22. If you know Brother Gabar, then you know this is one of my favorite things to bring out because this is just what it is, man. St. John chapter 4, verse 22. I'm there whenever you're ready.
Okay. And this is the book of John, chapter 4, verse 22. Ye worship, ye know not what. Mm-hmm. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews.
Wait a minute. So Christ came to bring salvation, right? Ain't that what they tell us in the Christian church? So if Christ is bringing salvation, and here it is, written in red again. Written in red again. Look at this. Christ is saying it. What is he saying? Read that again, Art.
Ye worship, ye know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews.
Salvation is of the Jews, the Yahudim. Right? That's what he's saying. Man, salvation is for my people. His people, right? From their sins. Salvation is for them. Christ did not bring salvation for the whole world. The salvation is for the Jews. This is why he's saying, hey, y'all don't even know what y'all worship. You don't. Because if you in Christianity, it's like a gumbo of different ancient religions. You got some Babylonian mixed in there. You got a little Egypt in there mixed with a little Greek in there. Put a dash of Roman in there. A little astrology. Come on, now. What are we? You don't even know what you worshiping, man. When you deal with that, you don't know. Go bring this coming December. Go bring Jeremiah 10 to your pastor. I challenge anyone to do this. Bring Jeremiah 10 to your pastor and say, well, don't this look like he talking about a Christmas tree? And then ask them why they got a Christmas tree in the lobby of the church. Like, if the Most High telling us not to do it, why are we doing it? Just go see, because you don't even know what you worshiping. The people who lead y'all and teach y'all don't even know what they worshiping. They're giving you whatever came in the box that religion is told them to teach, but it's not this. They don't deal with this. They deal with a couple of stories out of here, but the actual factuals, they don't deal with it. Right? Start 22 from the top for me, Art.
Okay. This is the book of John, chapter 4, verse 22. Ye worship, ye know not what.
Uh-huh.
We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews.
Read on.
But the hour cometh, and is now, when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth. For the Father seeketh such to worship him.
See, stop right there. You see, right? This stuff is plain. There's no way you can play with these verses right here. He says salvation is of the Jews, and the hour come, and now is. So that means don't look for it to come down the line. It's already here. We're in that hour, right? He said, and now is when the true worshipers, right? The true worshipers shall worship the Father. So if you really do worship the Most High, if you worship the God of this book, if you worship the God of Jesus Christ, because the scripture shows you that your Jesus has a God, right? If you worship that God, The God who split the water in half in the book of Exodus. The God who raised our Messiah from the cross. The God who created the heavens and the earth, if you worship that God, now it's the time that you have to worship him according to, it says what? According to, they're gonna worship him in spirit and in truth. What is the spirit? The spirit is commandment. The spirit is the law. The law is spiritual. That's in the book of Romans chapter 7. Right? And then he says what? And in truth. What's the truth? That the Sabbath day is not on Sunday. That's the truth. What's the truth? That we're not supposed to keep Christmas. That's the truth. What's the truth? The Most High got a book, Leviticus 23. It got all the holidays in there that he wants you to celebrate. That's the truth. What's the truth? That we are the true children of Israel. That's the truth. Keeping the commandments. That's the truth. These are the things that's the truth. He said you're going to have to worship him in spirit and in truth. Why though, Lord? Because my pastor and my Gimon, they all told me that all I got to do is love and believe. He tell you why you got to come to him in spirit and truth. He said, why? For the Father seeks such to worship him. This is what he's looking for. That's what seek means. He's looking for the people who going to come to him in spirit and in truth. What's the truth? We just read it 4 times, really. Christ came to save his people from their sins. That's the very first verse we led off with, y'all. That's the very first verse. My brother put a wonderful one in Isaiah where it says, unto us a son is born, right? Unto us. Come on now. We read the next verse. We read in Matthew 10 and chapters 10 and chapter 15, where he said that he didn't come for nobody except for the house of Israel. You can't play with these words. He said, such to seek him in spirit and in truth, for the Father seeks such to worship him. Read verse 24 for me.
God is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth.
Hey, he's just saying it over and over again. That's plain. That's plain upon tables. Give me Jeremiah 3, verse 23. Let me get a couple of these verses. Did you have something that you want to add?
Yeah, just going back to like Christmas, like the time of Christmas. And people can look this up. Christmas is really during the season of the sun god or the sun deity called Saturnalia. And even if you go look it up, now all the ones that practice witchcraft, Wiccan, whatever, the occult, it's on their calendar. Pull up a Wiccan calendar and you'll see on there the season of Saturnalia.
Wow.
And it's during the time that everybody celebrate Christmas.
Wow.
So don't take my word for it. Look it up.
Hey, I'm with Brother Larry, man. I challenge any of y'all to go look that up. Go look it up for yourself. It'll only make you stronger. You looking that up right there. Give me that in Jeremiah chapter 3, verse 23. All right.
Okay, this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 3, verse 23. Truly in vain is salvation hoped for from the hills.
Stop right there. So when you read and you see the word hills, hills and mountains and rivers and trees, they can't ask for salvation. So when it is talking about salvation is hoped for from the hills is not hills, okay? Hills represent people, okay? So he's saying, surely salvation is what? It says, truly in vain is salvation hoped for from the hill, from these people. Go ahead, read on that.
And from the multitude of mountains.
Mm-hmm.
Truly in the Lord our God is the salvation of Israel.
Wait a minute. He said, truly in the Lord our God. It's the salvation of Israel. Man, he didn't say salvation of the world. Why he ain't saying the world yet? We didn't read seven, I'm gonna say 7 or 8 verses, and he ain't said world not once. He ain't said the church not once. He ain't said Christians not once. Hey, I know some of y'all out there with bow ties on. He ain't said Muslims not once. Listen, I don't have no hate for none of y'all. What I want is for my people to wake up and see who we really are. Unlock our true power, right? A lot of y'all young people, y'all watch Dragon Ball Z and all that kind of stuff. That power had to be unlocked. Well, this is how we unlock our power. Come back to our Father, our true spiritual Father, keep his commandments. That's going to empower us, right? That's going to unlock our power and empower us. Pay attention to what he's saying, because it's not for the world, y'all. He came for us. The world got to get it through us, but the Most High sent Christ to Israel, right? Don't even trip. I'm going to break some of that down too. But look at what he says. Truly in vain is salvation hoped for. Truly, he said, man, for real. Truly in vain. You can't get no worse than that, right? Truly in vain is salvation hoped for from the hills and from the multitude of the mountains. So from big nations to small nations, they're hoping for salvation in vain. Why are they? And then he tells you why. Very last line. Truly in the Lord our God is the salvation of Israel. That's why they're hoping for salvation in vain. They think they can bypass us and go straight to the Father and get it. Nah. What parent do that? What parents say, nah, you can get in line in front of my kids. That don't happen. Just don't happen. You got something you want to throw at it up?
Yeah. Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So if y'all know Brother Gabar, y'all know that I love me some Deuteronomy. And he hit one of my favorite scriptures. I'll read it for you. This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Man, you can't get no more plainer than that. Man, we could just close the book. Less than 27 minutes. Boom. But guess what? We're not going to do y'all like that. For one, because we don't want to. And two, because we know y'all going to have an excuse. So we're going to keep busting y'all over the head with it. We need to get this, y'all. Understand. We're not saying hate anybody. We're saying love ourselves and understand who we are. That's the most important thing. When we bring this out to people, everybody want to ask about the other nations. If I'm downtown and I'm talking to a so-called African American, you know what they never say, Larry? They never do this. They never say, well, what about the Jamaicans? What about the Haitians? They'll never do that. You know what they will say? What about the white man? Or what about the Chinese people? Brother, what about your own people? Right. Sis, you got people that you know you come from these people and you ain't worried about them. You guys, I'm not saying to hate anyone. What I am saying is love yourself. We need to love ourselves. Unlock this power in us so we can be the nation that my brother just read. Let me get that again. That was an outstanding verse that you just that you pulled. Deuteronomy 7 and 6. One more time for Brother Larry, man. For thou art a holy people. Look at what he's saying. Holy means set apart, separated. He's saying that y'all separate from the rest of the world, right? We're separate unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself. Listen, he didn't just make us special, he made us special to him. This was an excellent verse you brought out. Excellent, right? He says a special people unto himself. Then look, this should knock everybody out their seats right here. He said a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Come on, you guys. We can't play these games like these words not in this Bible. We can't play these games like in this book and in this chapter and in this part of the Bible, this is what God about. And then when you go to Matthew, God had decided to change his mind. Come on, man. That was an excellent verse. All right. Let's go to Romans chapter 11, verse 25. That was an excellent verse. All right.
All praises to Yahweh on that one.
All praises. So before my brother start reading it, understand that what we dealing with, that the Most High sent Christ to us. And so we rejected Christ back then. Guess what? The same way a lot of us are rejecting him now. When we don't want to hear the commandment, we're rejecting Christ, you guys. What John 1 and 1, what does John chapter 1 tell us? That that Christ was the word, right? If he is the word, what does Christ do? Man, if you don't know it, go life. Matthew chapter 5, Christ is not saying, he says, I didn't come to do away with the commandment, right? Then he tells you that not one tittle could pass away from the commandment, right? That's like not one dot in the I or crossing the T. Then he proceeds to give you further understanding. Like, look, man, I know y'all heard it, don't commit adultery, but if you just looking at that sister with lust in your eyes, you're committing adultery. He's not getting rid of the commandment. In fact, he's giving you further understanding on it. Is what he's doing.
Amplifying it.
So the reason why, yes, Christ came for us, and the reason why we're dealing with this is because of our, most of us rejected Christ, right? As we are today. And so this is what we're dealing with. Give me Romans 11 and 25.
Okay, this is the book of Romans chapter 11, verse 25. For I would not, brethren, that ye should be ignorant of this mystery, lest ye should be wise in your own conceits, that blindness in part is happened to Israel until the fullness of the Gentiles be come in.
So because we rejected Christ, this is why we can't see it. This is why it don't make sense to our ears. This is why we can't get past. Wait, you telling me that I'm the greatest people? That the Most High separated me and I'm supposed to be above all nations on the face of this earth? That the Most High calls me his child? But what about those people? And then what else we say? Well, when I was young, I went to church. What did we just read out this book? Because what you telling me ain't nothing out the book. This is why blindness is on us, because into the fullness of the Gentile. Until their time is almost up, y'all. You can look at the news and tell what's going on. It ain't no secret. It ain't. You can tell what's going on. They're all at each other. Everybody, they all want to hurt each other and break each other down. The time that it says that until the fullness of the Gentiles be come, we pretty much there. And this is why you see more and more of us waking up every day. All praise to the Most High for that, man. Read verse 26 for me, out.
And so all Israel shall be saved, as it is written, there shall come out of Sion the deliverer, and shall turn away ungodliness from Jacob. For
so it says a deliverer. Somebody for to deliver Zion. For those of y'all who don't know, Zion is another prophetic name for the children of Israel. Okay, as I said earlier, if you see Zion, Jerusalem, when you see Israel, when you see Jacob, it's talking about us. Okay, so he says a deliverer, man, there shall come out of Zion it don't say the deliverer. And what is this deliverer gonna do? And shall turn away ungodliness from Jacob. You know what he gonna do? Point us back to the commandment. That's what that means. Set us back on the right path. Show us how to worship the Most High and keep his commandment with sincerity of heart. How to love our brother with sincerity of heart. Right? Read verse 27 for me.
For this is my covenant unto them, when I shall take away their sins.
Look at what he's wait. Man, did you see what that said? This is his covenant to them. Why he didn't say this is my covenant to the world? You know how many times I hear people say, well, he made a covenant with Abraham and then he made a covenant. Do you not understand that don't have nothing to do with the world? That's Abraham. That's one dude. Okay, Isaac, that's one dude. Oh, to Jacob, guess what? That's one dude. Then to Israel, okay, we can say that's a nation of people, but that still ain't the world. Look at what he just said in verse 27. For this is my covenant unto them. Who is the them? Go back to verse 25, last line. In part is happened to who? Israel. Israel is the them. The covenant is for Israel, right? Watch this. For this is my covenant unto them, when I shall take away their sins. Ain't that what we read in Matthew 1 and 21? It's the same thing, y'all. You cannot go around this. You can't decide to pick a piece out and then say, look, but this verse right here. So what about all these verses that we didn't pull? And guess what? I'm trying to keep it in a matter of 45 to 60 minutes. God forbid if I just had all day long, I could just keep pulling them out. Guess what? I ain't even went to the Apocrypha yet. Please understand, I will say this until my face is blue. You will never see me. You're never going to see Brother Shi'yah, Brother Larry. You're not going to see us tell anyone to hate someone else. That's not what we're saying. My love for my people does not mean hate for anyone else. But I am here to tell my people, let's go. Let's get our morals back. Let's get our ethics back. Let's get our God back. Let's get our language back. Let's get our culture back. Let's stand up as a nation and be who we're supposed to be. It don't mean I hate nobody, but it just means I love my people. It means I love myself. And I'm going to tell us. This is what my father told me to do. This is what my big brother, Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, told me to do. We're supposed to tell it. Hey, y'all, that Jesus that everybody think that they thinking about, he ain't come for the world. He came for you, children of Israel. You got something you want to throw at that?
Yeah. Psalms 78, 68 through 71.
This is you said 78?
Psalms chapter 78, verses 68 through 71.
This is the 78th Psalm, starting at the 68th verse. But chose the tribe of Judah, the Mount Zion, which he loved. And he built his sanctuary like high palaces, like the earth, which he hath established forever. He chose David also his servant, and took him from the sheepfolds. From following the ewes, great with young, he brought him to feed Jacob his people, and Israel his inheritance. Oh, you on fire. Verse 72. So he fed them according to the integrity of his heart, and guided them by the skillfulness of his hands. Hey, you on fire, Y'all pay attention. Brother Larry is hitting y'all hard, man. If this was over the plate, it's off the park, man. Simple and plain. Look at what he gave you. From the following of from following the ewes, great with young, he brought him to feed Jacob, his people. Why he didn't say the world? Why he didn't say the world, Why he didn't say the church? Why he didn't say the Christian? I'm just saying, right? He said he brought him to feed Jacob, his people, and Israel, his inheritance. We got to understand that this is not talking about everybody, y'all. This is plain. He just said Israel is his inheritance. Y'all know I got to do it. Y'all know I got to do it. I got to do it. Let's look up inheritance real quick. Because sometimes I already know that a lot of us, We'll play the game. We'll play that game. You can't get away with me on that though, right? Inheritance. It gives an example, a thing that is inherited. It says legacy, endowment, birthright, estate, heritage, benefaction, right? Come on, y'all. Succession to, accession to, taking over of. Come on, you guys. These are, I didn't make these definitions up. I just Googled them. So when the Most High is saying that we his inheritance, he's saying we his legacy, his birthright, his estate, his heritage. Patrimony, meaning something given from the Father, right? That he's saying that this is who we are, Israel. He didn't say the whole world. This should be so plain, you guys. So plain, right? All praise, you on fire, man. I'm just gonna keep giving you the ball that you shoot, man, because you gonna score today. Go ahead, shoot it. Isaiah 59, verse 12.
Okay, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 59, verse 12. For our transgressions are multiplied before thee, and our sins testify against us. For our transgressions are with us, and as for our iniquities, we know them.
So this is simple and plain. This is talking to us as Israel. This is why we're dealing with the things that we deal with, the oppression that we deal with today. Because our iniquities and our transgression, we can say the white man all we want, but really it's because of our disobedience to our Father's commandments. That's the bottom line. I don't care who did what in the past. Don't get me wrong. I do care. Let me make sure I say that. I do care what has happened to us in the past. But I am one of those people who I try to hold myself responsible for what I've done wrong. And I'm going to hold us responsible. Man, this is why, look at our people today. We don't have no morals or no ethics. Strong men are made weak. Women are made to be men, right? Ladies, if y'all don't never pay attention to this. Next time you watch your favorite TV show and they show a black woman, why is she strong, black, and independent with no man? But the other women, the other nations, they're beautiful and they have a husband, right? They got a boyfriend. They getting a man, something. But y'all got to be by yourself, strong, black, and independent. Man, that don't make no sense. Or guess what? You got to have somebody of another nation. Come on, man. They're programming your mind to make you understand that you're not, to make you think that you're not, when you are the chosen. You are the elected. Matter of fact, let's go to Isaiah 43 and 1.
One of my favorites.
Oh, praise.
Where you going? One of my favorites. Okay. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 43, starting in verse 1. But now thus saith the Lord that created thee, O Jacob, and he that formed thee, O Israel, fear not, for I have redeemed thee. I have called thee by thy name. Thou art mine.
You see that? He called us by name and then said, you are mine. One thing, I have daughters, right? And I tell my daughters, oh, they start trying to like boys or whatever it is. You know what I tell them? It's 3 P's. He need to provide, and he need to proclaim. Right here, the Most High is proclaiming us. What did he say? Are mine, Jacob, Israel are mine. Guess what? When a man take a woman, is his. And what does she have? His last name. This is why behind all the prophets' name, you see Daniel, right? Ezekiel, Jeremiah, right? Hezekiah, right? There are names bear witness to our Father. This is why he says, I have called thee by thy name, thou art mine. Look at what he says. For I have redeemed. Wait, why he ain't redeemed the world? Why he ain't redeemed the Christians?
Right.
Come on. Down to verse 10. And I got to hit some people with this too, because I know some of these. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. This is the book of Isaiah chapter 43, verse 10. Ye are my witnesses, saith the Lord, and my servant whom I have chosen, that ye may know and believe and understand that I am he. Before me there was no God formed, neither shall there be after me. I, even
So
I.
he's saying, so look, he said, you witness. So don't go to Jehovah's Witness. Israel is the witness. We the witness. We the chosen. Are his. We are the people above all nations, right? This is why. So let's now, you know what we're getting into? It's a perfect segue into my last couple of scriptures. So Christ came for Israel. Why just Israel? Why did he? What is it about us? What do you want from us, right? My brother already pulled a great one out, Deuteronomy 7:6. So let's just be fair and go back to Deuteronomy one more time. Back to Deuteronomy chapter. Go to chapter 4. Go to verse 20.
Can I just say just one thing, brother?
Come on.
Okay. The scripture that was just read, Isaiah chapter 43, verse 10. When I was growing up, it was Isaiah 43 verses 10 through 12 that was pressed into my mind by my mother and by us as witnesses, because I used to be one of Jehovah's Witnesses, so I know this scripture very well, got burned into my mind, but now I know the true meaning of this scripture.
Yes, sir. Hey, like we read John 4:22, he said, hey, now we gotta worship the most and in truth. Bottom line, man, we are the true witnesses, right? Give me that in Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 20.
Okay, this is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 20. But the Lord hath taken you and brought you forth out of the iron furnace, even out of Egypt, to be unto him a people of inheritance, as ye are this day.
So I don't ever want to say, well, he don't deal with Israel no more. He are this day. We still here, man. He said, it says he took us out of Egypt, the iron furnace. Why did you do that, Lord? He tell you in the next line. He say, to be unto him a people. Why he didn't do this for the whole world? Why the whole world not his people? Because he chose Israel. He said Egypt to be his people, an inheritance as it is this day. Let me get a couple of other scriptures too. Of course, man, boy, I got so many I can get, and I got a little bit of time trying to get through them. Give me Isaiah 49:6. This is why he came to us. This is why. This is why all the camps is waking up. This is why Brother Larry is awake. This is why Shi'yah is awake. This is why I'm awake. He calling us. And little by little, we starting to gather. Maybe not everybody, but when he get the number he want, it's a wrap, y'all. Let's be the ones who wake up. Let's be the ones who do this, because when he calling us, this is what he wants us to do. Bring that out for me, Yak.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 49, verse 6. And he said, it is a light thing that thou shouldest be my servant to raise up the tribes of Jacob and to restore
Read.
the preserved the preserved of Israel. Excuse me.
Read.
I will also give thee for a light to the Gentiles, that thou mayest be my salvation unto the end of the earth.
Man, look, the reason why we are awake is so we can wake up our people. But he said he gave us, when he say us, he talking about Israel as a nation, as a whole nation. What are we supposed to be? Bottom line tells you, light to the Gentile. Man, these heathens don't know how they're supposed to be walking around in this. They don't know how to be righteous and just. Look at the world today. They run the world today, and look at it today. When the Most High put us back and we started letting our light shine, which is the commandment, right? That's Psalms. And Proverbs tell you how the commandment is and enlightening, right? So he's telling us right there. This is what we supposed to. He gave us the commandments so that we govern them, right? My brother pulled it out, Deuteronomy 7:6. On the face of the earth. Well, who's above the people? Go to Revelation verse 10, huh? We almost done, y'all.
Okay, Revelation chapter, because you kind of broke up a little bit.
Revelation chapter 5, verse 10.
Okay, this is the book of Revelation, chapter 5, verse 10. And has made us unto our God kings and priests, and we shall reign on the earth.
Wait, he said we gonna reign on the earth. Why? Because we the kings and the priests. This is why he came. This is why he came for us. Did y'all ever wonder, like, well, why is he King of Kings? Because he made us kings and he's our king. He's the king of the kings. You guys, we're supposed to be reigning on earth by way of what? The commandment of the Most High. Answering to nobody but who? Christ. Come on, man. What's better than that? What's better than that, y'all? We are. So we could, as kings and priests, right? Give me First Peter 2:9. Just a supporting scripture. Just a supporting scripture, y'all. Then I got one more and we out of here. First Peter chapter 2, verse 9, please.
This is the book of First Peter chapter 2, verse 9. But ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, and holy nation, a peculiar people, that ye shown forth the praises of him who hath called you out of the darkness into his marvelous light.
Look, he's telling you why. This is why he called us out. Because we are chosen for what, Lord? What you choose us for? He tell you in the next line. What do he say? You are chosen, a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a peculiar people. Well, why are we holy? What's so special about us, Lord? Now that we are these things, what are we supposed to do? Guess what? He tell you in the next line. What the next line say? He said, we are peculiar people. What are we supposed to do that we peculiar, Lord? Show forth the praises of him. We're supposed to show the Most High praise. We're supposed to be shining that light. The other nations are supposed to look at us like, that's God's children right there. Look at how righteous they are. Look at how they worship their God. It makes sense. You know what? Look how just they are. We got to get like that. We need to get with them. Guess what? Give me Zechariah chapter 8, verse 23. This is my last one, y'all, and then we gonna wrapping it up. Zechariah chapter 8, verse 23. So that's what they supposed to say when they see us. Well, you know that Gabar is not making anything up. Zechariah 8 and 23 gonna pretty much nail it home for us, and then we wrapping it up after that, y'all. This is it. Last verse. Bring it out.
This is the book of Zechariah, chapter 8, verse 23. Thus
wait. Matter of fact, wait. Start at verse 22. Start at 22.
Okay. This is the book of Zechariah, chapter 8, starting in verse 22. Yea, many people and strong nations shall come to seek the Lord of hosts in Jerusalem and to pray before the Lord.
Stop right there. Look at what he's saying. All these people, they gonna come to Jerusalem. When it's saying Jerusalem, you guys, I know y'all thinking about the place. It's talking about the people from Jerusalem. It's talking about us, Israel. For all you nations, it's talking about the very same people who you treat bad in your store, who you treat bad in the street, the same people who you persecute when you have a badge on your shirt, right? Them same people. Y'all gonna be coming to us. To do what though? It says that many people and strong nations shall come to seek the Lord. They're gonna come to us in Jerusalem to pray before the Lord. Read verse 23. This is the bread and butter right here.
Thus saith the Lord of hosts, in those days it shall come to pass that 10 men shall take hold of all the languages of the nations, even take hold of the skirt of him that is a Jew, saying, we will go with you, for we have heard that God is with you.
That God is with, man. Y'all keep these commandments. Y'all are so righteous. Y'all are so just. We know God is with you. We got to go with you. We need you to teach us this way. Guess what? You could read the same thing in Isaiah, in Micah, right? You're going to see this over and over again. This prophecy where the nations come to the children of Israel and say, teach us the Lord. You know why? Because the Most High sent Christ to us for that purpose. We wasn't going to do it without him. We didn't know how to do it without him. So when the Most High said, I'm going to send y'all big brother down there to talk to y'all, all that work, all the miracles, and gave us all that knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Now, here it is. 2024, we gathering back. We keeping the commandments. We rising up. We trying to rebuild our nation every day, more and more. And guess what? You can look on YouTube, more and more the other nations are like, they're the true children of Israel. They're really the true Jews. They can't wait till we get in power so they can be like, show us how to do it. They waiting. Prophecy is slowly but surely unfolding in front of our eyes. You guys, Christ came to Israel. We saw where he said he came from their sins. We saw where he said he come to no other people except for the children of Israel. We just read where it said, you know what? You guys are my light to the whole wide world, right? We just read where it said the other nations are going to say, hey, you Israelites, you Jews, we know God is with you. We need to go with you so we can follow his way. There's no way around that, y'all. You can't just skip over some of these words. And really, Zechariah chapter 8, that whole chapter is going into that. So if y'all want more understanding, read Zechariah chapter 8. It goes into it pretty good. Micah chapter 4, I believe it is. Also, and I believe it's Isaiah chapter 2. I believe that goes into that. This is pretty much it, y'all. Larry, you got something you want to throw out there before we wrap it up?
Yeah. You've heard people say, you've heard Trump say, let's make America great again. Well, this is to our people. Let's make Israel great again.
Let's go, Watt. Let's go, Watt.
Go.
Hey, how you say that in Hebrew? Kwam Yasharala. Right? That means
Kwam Yasharala.
As always, man, I'm gonna say it for me and Brother Larry, man. When we give this, we give all honor and thanks and praise and glory to the Most High. And guess what? None for ourselves. I pray that this lesson planted the seed or tilled the ground, but we know the Most High increase. I'm your brother Gabar, his brother Larry. Shi'yah, where you at? Get in on this.
Right here. Right here.
There you go. Yeah, man. Hey, for the Shema, I'm gonna say shalom. Love you, big bro.
I love you. I love y'all too, man. Y'all did an excellent class. Class. I just want to say all praises to the Most High, and like Gabar say, and I'm telling him right now, I'm stealing that from him. It's called a free jacking. All glory to the Most High, none for myself. You guys did excellent. All praises for those who trying to keep the law, statutes, and commandments, man. And thank you guys. I love y'all.
Love you too,
man. I love y'all boys, man. Hey, y'all stay locked in. Keep doing that work, man.
All praises.
All praises.
And with that, we say shalom.
Shalom, Israel.
Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.